Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about old school. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, how old school are you when it comes to programming? Well, now you're putting me in a little bit of a predicament because I have a fraction of the experience. I don't even want for me, old school is maybe a mindset, but there is no way for me to be able to give you this answer without having someone who's been doing this for like 30 years or something like that go and tell me that come and tell me that, oh, you're so modern. Like it's very subjective and very relative, so you have to take this for what it is. Because I mean, I saw this TikTok the other day where I thought, I mean, he was making a point, I suppose, which yeah, I can see. I mean, he has a point, but a little bit. He was being difficult with intention. But basically, there was this TikTok from a developer who explained that he's found it very hard to find any jobs because everybody's looking for a full stack developer. And what he found really confusing about that is that what people mean when they say a full stack developer is that it's basically the UI level and the backend, and feels that he can't really apply for those jobs because he only knows those. He doesn't know those parts. He knows the operating system and the firmware and like all the other layers underneath, and then he knows product development. So he knows all the things above and under the UI level and the backend level. So trying to basically say that there's more to it than that. And I suppose that is what I'm trying to say as well. But if you compare me to some of the, well, evangelist and the, well, different YouTubers or whatever people you might be looking at who are like trying to show you the latest and trendiest stuff, I'm definitely on the more conservative side, for sure I am. And I think that is like I didn't used to be like that. I used to when I was first starting out, I was, of course, like most people, convinced that new was always better. I was always like the trendy, like I kept up with everything, tried to learn everything, and just to do and try to kind of just figure out what is like what are good solutions, what are good options, and what are good investments, and so forth. And I think that most people are actually looking for that thing because I think we can all agree that new is not always better. Like, I don't think anybody believes that every single thing that someone can come up with is a good idea. The problem is that when you don't know any better, you usually have to take people at their word, or you have to try things out. And I mean, this is of course a good thing, but there's also a cost in many cases to trying things out. And the more you work, you start to realize just how much of a cost there is to trying all of these things out all the time, and how much of a risk some of the investments that you have to make actually is. It's sort of I don't know. It's like you become more conscious of your assets and your time and the problems that come with it. The more experienced you get, and I find more and more that the there is a trend, I think, in many cases that the more experienced developers they usually tend to be a little bit more conservative and a little bit more thoughtful about their investments in terms of tech and so forth, because they have gone through that process of trying things out and like just experimenting and like so forth, and their maturity has led them to understand that some things are fundamentally a good idea and some things are not such a good idea, and some things are high risk and some things are low risk. So they start becoming smarter with their investments, if that makes sense. I mean, they are not always right, of course, but it's natural to be more conservative, at least I think so, when you start to realize just how bad things can turn out if you use the wrong tool in the wrong circumstance. And what's funny is actually I find more and more that a lot of the tools that we create, or many of them at the very least, have I mean, they have a lot of extra bells and whistles and so forth, which are absolutely nice. And if you are the person who really likes those things, uh, then the tool does make sense. But in many cases, it really is. I've found so many times where I've found an open source library or some arbitrary thing like that does something, and I kind of go, why would I need this? Because I have this thing that I mean, this thing has been here for like forever, and it's simpler, it's lower risk, and it will do exactly the thing I need. So why would I get this thing? Like it's I suppose that the best analogy that I can give you is that the difference. I mean, when I go shopping, and with my girlfriend, literally anything can be on sale. Like practically, I mean that's usually how it goes. Like, oh, things are on sale. Do we need this? Do we need to buy this? Oh, there's pillows on sale. Oh, there's shampoo on sale. And I kind of go, no. Why we have pillows and stuff at home. Why would we buy it? Well, because it's on sale. So why would I have the thing? Why would I buy it just because it's on sale? And I think that this is a similar sort of thing. Like for me, it's the exact same thing. Oh, we have this new thing that does all these amazing things, and I kind of go, but why? I don't need any of it. So why would I get it just to have these tiny little perks that don't really make the difference? And this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. Uh, that is me. I became that person after seeing just how much it actually costs in terms of time and learning and productivity and bugs and education, because like all of these other things that has to happen when you have I like to think of it as a more holistic picture on what it actually means to adopt a new tool. An example would be if you go into, just take a big corporation. If you go in and you say, we're going to bet on new tech stack, do you have any idea how much that's going to cost? You're going to have to educate all your staff. You're going to have to wait while bugs and other issues that kind of sort out themselves, because all these people are now they may not know exactly how to use everything, so the features are going to be subpar, the quality of the work is going to go down. All of these things is going to go up and be costly and so forth. And yet you have these junior level developers in many cases who come in and just say that this is the most obvious thing in the world. Well, of course we should rewrite everything in Go. It doesn't matter if this entire company is built on Java. We just have to rewrite the entire system or something like that, and then re-educate everybody and so forth, and take all this risk because there's a sale. So what I want you to take away from this is that there is I think that it's not just me. I'd like to think so at the very least, because that would suck otherwise. But I think that the more time you spend in software and the more work you do, the better you get at spotting simple solutions to things, and you get a bit of a feel for what's going to be the simple thing that is going to actually make the difference, and it's going to be the best bet, and what is going to be a lot of extra headaches. Because that's the thing, right? I have a old coworker who used to say to me, Frederick, the best solution for any problem that you have is the solution that is perfectly proportioned to the thing that you want. In other words, it's like getting a glass of water. You want a glass of water that is perfectly filled to the brim. That is the perfect unit of the thing that you're looking for. You don't want it half full, and you don't want too much of it, because then it's going to overflow. Software works the same way. You need something that fills your need exactly, because the more stuff you get extra, the more problems the more surface area there is for things to go wrong or things like that. And this is a truth that I really I can only repeat it and truly say that my coworker was completely right. Because when I first started out, I thought that bigger is better, more is better, and I've realized that is not true. The best thing is truly to always find the perfect proportion of a solution to any given problem. And even if you have the trendiest hype train going around, if you are able to actually understand whether or not all of these extra things that you're getting is actually useful to you, your systems will actually be much better, and you will find that being old school, sometimes you're too old school and you really do need to update yourself. But a lot of the times, the reason why we look up to the senior developers is because they actually have that perspective. They actually know, and that's why you should be paying them. That's why we pay them so much, because they know how to make good investments. And everything that is new is not always better, and that is something that an old school programmer understands. Such a programmer can know when to upgrade and when to stay on the thing that they actually have, because it's actually a more stable solution or it's actually going to be better than paying the cost of going to the new thing. Have a great day.